storm. So I went out and this afternoon, because it's nice out, it's like in the 50s, and looked around under the white pines and found a branch that had been knocked down, a small branch. So I picked off all the tips, sitting here cutting it up, and this should be quite a bit. I'm working on finishing the juniper extraction. Got that and put a little in there so that I'd have room for when that boils down to add the water extraction to it. And I might want to get some more juniper eventually. But I've got a situation where I've got a Mossad agent camped out right across the street, trying to, you know, watching everything I do, and then they making, you know, coaching people on making duplicates so that they can test what they need to do to overcome it. But a lot of this stuff is antioxidant, and so what they're doing is mostly some kind of an oxidant kind of process. The antioxidants have what's called scavenging capacity, so the molecules of the oxidative substance get into my bloodstream, and the molecules of the antioxidant are in there, and they kind of seek each other out and cancel each other. And so like if all you got is just regular arthritis from a you know, bad injury that flares up every once in a while, if your acidity gets high because you've eaten wrong for a couple of days, you know, taking like a less than a quarter teaspoon of a double extraction of one of these, you know, the juniper, you know, the mushrooms, you know, the white pine, any of that is going to solve that. You take a little bit of that every day, you don't have any issues. But when there's more toxins in the air, you might want to do that every few hours. Last night I was experimenting with, you know, whether or not, how long I could go. Like, when they're really pumping it in my room, I'm going to feel it no matter what. But how quickly does it dissipate? And, you know, and I can feel stuff, you know, fighting inside, you know, fighting to re-regulate. And that fight is getting stronger and stronger. I'm getting my tissues saturated, you know. But, you know, the mushrooms have more things in them besides the antioxidants. So does the, you know, the pine type, the evergreen stuff. You know, the evergreen is better for, you know, everybody every day because it's so abundant. The mushrooms, you know, like I said, that's menopause mostly. And menopause is a really serious illness. It's more often than not fatal around here. So anyway, you know, you strategize these things based on, you know, how abundant is the stuff that you find, how potent is it, what other properties does it have, how do you prioritize your resources that you have, you know. So that's what everybody's always had to do. But this white pine, man, they eat the inner bark in bad, you know, when nothing else is growing, and make candy out of the tips and shoots. So this is one of those that's could be just a regular tea. I mean, just dry the needles and make a water extraction tea. But I'm going to do with this batch an alcohol extraction and water. So, and just keep it on hand for rescue. Because in the middle of the night, I don't want to make tea.